What are you talking to me? Thick tape only. Only thing that goes in your shoes is thick tape. It's like this right here, you gotta go between like, I think it's like an inch or like a quarter of an inch. I don't know. Either way, it's thick enough for Tom so I don't get yelled at. And who wants to get yelled at like 7 in the morning? I know for hell I don't, so.
So season's over. What's the focus and how do you address their training now?
It's getting better, obviously, every day and all the time, but it depends on where they're at, if they're going to wrestle in the U23 or the U20 trials or the, getting ready for the World Team Trials in Louisville, which is 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from yesterday. And then the Final X. And then from there, you want to put people on the world team, and then you're shooting for world gold medals. And you do that, and along with that, like right now, Gabe's probably not going to compete. So we might send him overseas on a tour, and at the same time, you're still getting better. It doesn't matter. Even if you're more on your own for the summer, you're still getting better. And, for him, it's Cleveland, Ohio. And that's pretty much, what he's got I would say, a sour taste in his mouth. And he left some things undone in Philly, and he wants to do it right.
What's your take on his last season?
Kind of like I just said, ask him. It's the same as how he feels, there were things left undone. The thing is it's a little different with me because, yeah, he could have done better, but then you got to do better. So, if you believe that about yourself and you believe that I could have done this, I could have done that, then do it. You got to do it because there aren't do-overs. There aren't, ways that you can go back and recreate something and do it again. Now, you can move forward and do it the next time, but if you stay in the past too long, it can get where you can't see the future in front of you and what's next and getting better and those things. And you can let that pity and that stuff wallow, and that's not healthy at all. It's not healthy for development, but it's also not healthy for psyche. So
back to work.
Always. Go. Yeah. Knees, hands to the mat. Go. Good, really good. Feel how you fall off of that balance. Keep your hips square. Go. Down. Good, really good. Yes. Way better. Again. Go. Down. Good. Down. Remember now, 3 weeks ago, how that felt. And you're all over the board there, getting thrown up into the lights, everything else. So remember now how that progress works and that feeling. Again. Go. Good. Down. High. Good. When he had you and you're here and you're coming up, even maybe last week, you're coming and pulling him up. There you're not. So you're starting to set the new in motion. Again, other side. Down. Good. High. Shake it off. Good job. Really good. All right, gonna be in here. All you're doing is you're just gonna lift him, just double, just gonna lift him right here. All right? Got it. Okay, lift him. Okay, right here, this is where, let me get in there. When you get hit and you get lifted, I can't drape. See that? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for this. I'm looking to core out and get my chest and my body perpendicular to his. So when he's straight up, I gotta be here. Now see how his balance, and I'm starting with my legs coming out. Even when he's running on me here, that's when I can start to get off him. He lifts me up, he's gonna throw me down. There is no throw down right there. All right? So you're using both hands on him, lift him up, and then on me you're going, go. Okay, your time. Your hands, I'm not using my hands to try to like hold myself up. I want to get down. So everything, feel this. Everything that you're doing, you're like this. I want to be here. Feel that? So when you lift me up, I'm here. And when you put me down, go ahead and lift me up and just spike me down. See, there is no spike. Because you have to continue to carry your hips through to put me down here. See that? Even here, where would you put me down? See that? Rewind, rewind, rewind. Put me down. See that? How I resist and I get my balance and my balance going back against you. And that's feel. We can talk about it all day long, and until you feel it 1,000 times, you're not going to understand it. And that's the hardest part about counter offense wrestling, and you're doing it now. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. All right, here we go.
So I have a question about hand placement. So when he went, my plank was like here, right? You want it more like second he lifts, like I'm going here and then I'm coming way down?
Yes.
Instead of waiting for him to bring it all the way up and then
Yes.
post plank it out? Okay.
Now, here's the thing, though. So in the drill, I want to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let him have me here. But when the drill starts, or once I'm here, now I got to get back. See, grab me again. When I'm here, look at his hands. See how comfortable he is? When I get here, he's hating life. And even if he comes up and starts running with me, in that extension, that's not fake. Like you're not acting here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's extended for real. So let him have you more, be more vulnerable. But also, what do you like to do? Roll, crotch, ankles. Can't. I gotta get, if you can think about, if this is him, you're draped, I gotta get perpendicular. I wanna get perpendicular. And then my legs, that's that huge weight, that huge balance or that ballast against him, where he's gotta post, or he's gotta move faster than you and he can't. And that's the beauty of it. Very rarely can you run faster backwards. But when you get that weight coming off him like that, that's where you're gonna have it. All right, just do it, just go through it. All right, you lift. Okay, now you're draped. Now get your chest. Yep, right there. The reason why we take your hands from you in that drill is because it makes you do that to be able to survive, to be able to get to where you can score on, counter score on that drill. Same thing here. When he lifts you, I gotta get down. You feel how I slid right off your hand there?
Yeah.
I still gotta get down. I don't just get perpendicular and suspend myself. I still gotta get down. I gotta run him down. I gotta take him with me. He's locked into my core. It's like you're grabbing him with your abs, like flex your abs. You're grabbing him with your abs and you're pulling him down with your core. Put him down. Let him put you down once. Just put him down. Okay, feel that? You gotta reverse that. Everything that tips you and puts him in control where he gets a 3 takedown, or in freestyle a 2 takedown, or 4, if you go to your back, you got to reverse that. Go ahead. There you go. There you go. All of a sudden, the guy underneath that has the advantage doesn't have the advantage anymore. Again, other side. That was really good. Lift him. Go. Down, down, yes. Feel that? How hard is that for you to do that? You want to roll. I see it. Because your hands came here. When you lock, that favors him. Keep your hands. Head, hands, hips. Those are your lines of defense. All right, again. Go. You got it right there. See, that's fundamental wrestling. And then we add Gabe Arnold to it after we get the fundamentals back. And you make it your own. You make it your own with your own stuff, with your own flavor. But right now, we got to go back to the basics. Other side. One more. Yep, go. Good job. Put your head between his legs and lift him. Same thing here now. Same thing here. Now your hands are dangerous, right? So your hands, when you put your hands on the mat, that's where he finishes.
I feel like I have like so much more room to like get my weight back. You know what I'm saying?
So
am I making sense on that?
Yeah, that's why he lifts me, get over.
Gotcha.
Maybe. Because you like this.
Yeah.
So maybe if he lifts you, try to get your leg over. Now, if he doesn't let me get my leg over, I still got to get up, squeeze him. See, I squeeze, feel what I did there? When I squeezed his head, my core, all I'm doing when he lifts me, all I'm doing is I'm flexing my core. So he lifts me, I'm flexing my core in here. Lift me and put me down. So he lifts me and he puts me down. Even when he turned my hips there, when I hit, it's everything square. Keep your right and your left hip the same distance off the mat relative. So try that. So just go through it. You lift. Yeah. You like throwing head anyway.
Yeah. The thing is, you know how last time we were talking about, I asked you about like throwing head, and I was like, do you always throw head? I almost never throw head, but when we were going with Buchanan yesterday, and I was going with him, like I felt like when he was in on me, the best way to throw him off was like throwing that head inside or out and then getting weight down and back.
And that's what we're saying. It's the situation that brings you to the wrestling. He's going to be different. If you were wrestling me, it would be different. If you're wrestling Buchanan, it's different. It just is. And sometimes if I don't throw the head on the right guy or the wrong guy, it goes the other way. And you can't. You got to know what you're going to do. So get in there. So he lifts you. And where's the field take you? And the more reps, so you didn't even have to get your leg over there. Really good. That was really, really good. The more reps you get, the less thinking you do. The more reps you get, the more subconscious it is. The more reps you get, the more you make the right decision. The more you make the right decision, the more you get your hand raised the right way. And pretty soon it becomes a consistent thing. And that's training. That's the physical side of the training. Again, pop him up and finish.
Let him?
Nope. Let him have you pop him up, though. Good job. How awesome and controlled does that feel? That's got to be a lot more freeing than having to rely on that.
When I'm getting ready to go like dive roll and stuff, like let's say you hit me, and I'm already like come pop up. I feel like when I go stuff like that, like that's already like, I went from like first base and I tried to jump straight to home already. You know what I mean? So I can't really, it's hard to come back off of that.
Great analogy. I would agree with you. All right, head outside, single. Squeeze your knees on his arm. So when he pops you up, just let him have you. Yeah, you're going to squeeze and flex that core, and there you go. Yeah. How's that feel, Fenton?
Yeah, the more I try to get him straight, the heavier he gets.
Yeah. Flex. Good, yeah. Yeah, really good.
When he's going, like even in that instance, when he like kind of had corner, like so fucking tired from fucking being like this the whole time. Doesn't even think about like cutting across or anything.
The more that you stay fundamental, the harder and the heavier he gets and the more extended you get. In every second or split second that goes by, this happens with him. And he's got to fight. He's got to fight to stay here. He's got to fight for this outside leg and to get this leg, head up, back straight leg on the body. And you're in every microsecond that goes by, you are extending him more and more and more and more. Boom. Again. Down. Good. Again, other side. Finish. You can. Let him lift you. Use your hands. Go. Good job. Right away. Back. Good job. 2 more. 1 each side. Good. Benton, do it right. Same on you. You're trying to go quick now, and then it's going to get really ugly. Finish control. Finish control. Oh. Good job. Yes. Yes. The next thing we got to learn, no lock. When a guy attacks, I can't let him lock. So he can't ever climb out of the cellar on me. All right, we're going to go 6 more. We're going to go double, double, and then we're going to go 8 more. We're going to go double from the feet, like we started, and then we're going to go double, double, high crotch, single, single. All right, so you got 8 left. Go. Go. Good job. Good job. There's a blurry line. There's a blend of counter and offense. And when does it turn to, you got to know. And if I think the counter turned to offense and I'm wrestling and he starts building up again, then I got to go back to my counter. And you got to be so honest with yourself there. You got to know beyond any other doubt. All right, that's 2. Double, high. Go. Back, down, good, really good. Yeah. Go. 9, good. Single. Go. 9, awesome. Again. Go. Flex, flex, really good. Really good. 9, good. All right, we got 2 left. Head outside, single. Squeeze that core. Go. 9. Go. Square hip, square hip. There you go. 9. Out. 3 o'clock, I'll see you. Fenton, we got to get your reps too.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks. Good job, big dog. Horse it. Their athleticism and their ability to be able to wrestle is awesome. It's great. But if they don't have that basic skill that's in front of it, they abandon that and then it compromises. It's like anything else, right? So for me, that's where it starts. And then these guys they're tremendous athletes. And they do great skills. And when they are dialed in and they understand, like being down in your stance, feet, hands moving, those little tiny details or those little tiny reminders, and then they learn to wrestle from there. His hand fighting is way different than my hand fighting. But if he's down in the stance with his feet and his hands moving, his hand fighting is better. If I'm down in my stance, feet and hands moving, my hand fighting's better. Our styles are completely different. But because of that little tiny thing, it's huge. So it's always about that.
Do you feel like the caliber of these athletes, sometimes they drift away from fundamentals?
I think, yeah, maybe when they get into where their partner or their self-accountability is, hey, I know I can get away with it today, or I don't feel, or maybe I come in and I'm tired, and so I wrestle a little bit, off today, and then they get away with it, and then they start to gravitate toward that easy practice or that easy mentality. Whereas buckled down, when I come in, all my energy goes into, this is how I get my hand raised the best way. This is how I get my hand raised the best way. I come in, I prep mentally, I prep emotionally, I prep spiritually before the actual practice starts. That will help them. And when you get the guys that actually do that and run through those routines in their head and their spirit and their emotions, that's when they start to learn how to wrestle their style within a place where it makes sense, where they have the best chance of getting their hand raised. And the thing is, that's why they came here. That's why they came here. They want to win, and that's the number one most important thing about being an athlete in our program, is that when you come here and you profess with your mouth that you want to do something, we're going to hold you to it. We're going to remind you of that every single time.
Give me your thoughts on the season.
Obviously didn't go how I wanted it to. I don't think I ever pictured not being on the podium, so that was a little different. But, you get what you earn, and that's something that these guys preach around here. I don't know if I did enough work to get on top of the podium or on the podium at all. So, yeah, everything now is just figuring out what went wrong, where I messed up at personally. I felt really good coming to the tournament. I had a good, training phase coming in to the national tournament, and sometimes things just happen. So that obviously didn't go how I wanted to, but overall, I think season went well. I think I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about my wrestling, learned a lot about what I need to do to be at the absolute best and at the absolute top of that podium. So it was a good season to learn for me, and I learned, like I said, I learned a lot about my wrestling. I know where I need to get good at. I learned a lot about myself. I learned the things that I need to do to make sure that feeling that happened in March doesn't happen again. I'm probably the hardest person on myself, and when things don't go my way, I beat myself up a lot, and a lot of things that these guys preach here is what is your self-talk looking like? What are the words that you saying to yourself? Are they jiving with the wrestler that you want to become? Obviously right after the tournament, those words didn't really match up with the wrestler that I think I am. But it's just about flipping that switch a little bit, and it's just a little bit at a time. I think right after nationals, I didn't step on the mat at all. I didn't come in here a lot. I was just kind of just really upset with myself and pissed off, and rightfully so. I just didn't wrestle the greatest, and that's all on me. Like I said, I had a great training phase coming into this, but it's not an easy thing to do to flip that switch. I think we're like 8 weeks out or so from the national tournament, and I'm still like trying to train myself to, hey man, like season wasn't all a waste. We learned a lot of good things. We got a lot of good things done. Got a lot of good wins. I did a lot of stuff last year. I beat a lot of All-Americans, and like I said, it sucks not to be on that podium, but am I going to sit here and stay complacent in this spot of just feeling bad for myself all the way through next year? Like, no. Like, we got goals this summer to do. We got goals, obviously, next year to be on top of that podium, and it's just getting better, and that's what I'm doing now with Terry, going back to the drawing board and starting with basics and fundamentals of wrestling, So my brain kind of goes like 100 miles per hour, so slowing things down, making it super basic and doing the little things so that way next year we come into this thing and only thing we're looking is forward, and we're getting our hand raised every single match, and I'll be a national champ, So that's the end goal, and doing all these things right now is propelling me towards that goal, So obviously not everything's perfect, and some days are better than others, but it's the pursuit, and as long as the pursuit's forward, my head's up, things are gonna get done. That's all that matters, is getting better. So.
Last question. You mentioned you're the one who's hardest on yourself.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that, and how have you managed it?
I've always been like that, and the way that I've managed it, therapy and these guys around me now. Even coming into this, when I first was a freshman, super hard on myself. And if anything, I think I need to be harder on myself, and I think parts of there's times during the season that I kind of let that self-talk be a little too good. There's a line with the self-talk. There's like too good of self-talk. It's like, oh man, I'm the shit, and then there's like, oh dude, I freaking suck. I should probably quit wrestling tomorrow or something like that. I should probably throw my shoes away or something. So yeah, it's finding that healthy medium. And that for me, that's where I'm going to, is finding that healthy medium where it's beneficial. I'm telling myself the right things to get better, but at the same time, I'm not like overbearing myself to where I think my shit doesn't stink and I'm just walking around here chest buffed out like I'm the freaking man, because at the end of the day, it's all about going back to that drawing board and getting better at wrestling, So fixing that mindset, doing the right things, doing the things necessary, and yeah, keeping that happy medium.